Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today we have two figures that I'll be unboxing today, and today is actually a special day because the two figures that I'm going to be unboxing, one is our Rem figure and one is this Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen Nendoroid. This is going to be my first ever Nendoroid. I've been putting off buying Nendoroids because to me personally, I might rub a few people the wrong way, but I feel like Nendoroids are kind of overpriced for the size of the figure. I know they come with a lot of parts and it's easy to style them and shape them to your will, but for me personally, I just feel like buying a Nendoroid that is like $60 is not worth it for me compared to like a just normal price figure that's probably going to be a little less than that. However, I was able to find this Satoru Gojo in his suit version, and you can get the ghetto version too. I'm going to show a picture on screen, but it's basically inspired by that illustration. And he was on the storefront for a good smile on Amazon for like $34, which is around the same price for the prize figure of Gojo in the same suit. So I decided to get the Nendoroid instead because, like I said before, I kind of always wanted to try my hands at a Nendoroid, and it is a pretty good price, and I also want to save some space. Nendoroids are a lot smaller than some prize figures, so I end up getting the Nendoroid instead of the prize figure for the same price so that I can save some space because I've been getting a lot of figures recently, so I'm running out of space on my shelf at the top of my desk. So that's the reason. For the Rem figure, I got her because I'm a big fan of Ren from ReZero. She's like best girl in my opinion. And so I wanted to get a Rem figure and an Amelia figure because I kind of like Amelia as well. But the problem is that there's so many Rem figures out on the market, especially prize figures, that was really hard for me to choose just one Rem figure. So I put off buying a Rem figure for the longest while. And then I found this raincoat version from a local anime nerd store that's close to where I live. So I ended up picking this raincoat version up because I thought it was like super cute and I wanted to see how they did the translucent raincoat on this prize figure. So I was very curious and I thought this Rem figure was super cute, and so I decided to pick her up. One thing I do have to mention is that because I store my figures high on the shelf above my desk, sometimes if figures are wearing like a skirt, I accidentally get an upshot skirt moment, and so sometimes it makes me a little uncomfortable, especially when characters have long flowing skirts because I don't really want to see their underwear. This has happened to me multiple times with the Angel figure that I haven't unboxed in a long form video, but I'm pretty sure there's a short form video of me unboxing her, and that made me a little uncomfy. So I've been trying to lean away buying characters with like long, flowy, flared out skirts just to avoid that issue. But so when I saw Rem was also wearing pants, that also gave me the encouragement to actually buy her and take her home. So let's start with Rem and then we'll get into the Gojo Nendoroid because I want to show you guys all the different parts of him. So right now I'm just going to cut off the tape at the top. So let me do that real quick and then we'll get into more of the video. So for me, I started watching ReZero, I want to say like 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. My math might not be right, but I've always been a fan of Rem. I missed Rem from the newest season of ReZero, so I've been trying to get a Rem figure for the longest while, but like I said before, there's just so many on the market, I just didn't know where to choose from. So yeah, so I ended up getting this raincoat version. This was kind of an impulse buy because when I went to the anime store, I wasn't expecting to buy anything. I just wanted to browse. But when I saw this raincoat version of Rem, I kind of lost it a bit and was like, let me try and get her. This is me taking her out of the package, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. The base is kind of big, which is not a good sign because I'm running out of space on my shelf, but we'll have to make it work. I'm going to show a close-up of the base. This is the base. I like the fact that it has her name on it. I like the fact that it's not just a plain clear base. However, I do think they could have really played with the raincoat theme. They could have made it a little bit more like watery-esque, like she's like splashing in a puddle. I think that would have been really cute. and it's a little big too. It's not horrendously big, but it's definitely going to give me a challenge when I'm trying to find space for her on my shelf because I am running out of space. Seems like she's been packaged very well though. Like, these blister packaging is definitely on pretty tight, so just give me a minute while I cut open the blister package. Okay, here she is. This is her in the plastic, and now I'm just gonna slide her out. Like I said, this was well taken care of. Oh, the size of it is pretty big. I thought it was gonna be a lot smaller, but she's looking really good so far. This is how she looks right now. They did a really good job with her raincoat. I love the translucentness of the raincoat, and I love her cute boots. And she's a lot bigger than I thought she would be. I honestly thought she would be quite small, considering the size of the box, but she's actually pretty big. I'd have to say she's pretty big. So let me put her on her stand. Okay, so this is how she looks on her stand. The lighting is not doing it justice. She looks really cute. I really like her smile. At first I thought her smile would look weird because I do have some open mouth figures, and usually whenever they open their mouth and they smile, it looks weird. But I think they sculpted Rem's mouth quite nicely. I do like the translucent figure of her raincoat, and I love the pose. The pose is really cute. So this is how Rem looks. I think Rem looks super cute in her little raincoat. I can't wait to display her on my shelf, hopefully, if I can find space. But yeah, she looks super cute. It was a bit hard to get her into the base, but I was trying to do it with one hand because I wanted to move my tripod closer and it wasn't balancing. But besides that, I think Rem looks really good for a prize figure. They did the raincoat very nice. I love how it moves from opaque to transparent along the edges. I think that was a really nice touch, and I can't wait to get an Amelia figure and display them kind of together. I'm probably not going to get it from the same series as Rem. I don't even know if there's an Amelia version of this series of Rem, but I probably will get an Amelia version of some other series eventually and display them together. I'm really happy with this purchase because I've always wanted a Rem figure, like I said before, but it was just too many to choose one. But when I saw the raincoat version, I kind of fell in love with it, and it became a bit of an impulse buy. But I have to say, it's one of the few impulse buys that I've done that I actually am quite satisfied with. I think she looks super cute. She's not that small either. She's quite big, and her pose looks really nice. So I think I'm just going to be really happy to display her on my shelf. So next we have Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. I am a big Jujutsu Kaisen nerd. I have a lot of figures from, not really figures, but Funko Pops from Jujutsu Kaisen. When I was still collecting a lot of Funko Pops, I decided to get exclusive versions of both Itadori, Nobara, and Megumi. And so I have them on my shelf as well. I've always wanted to get a Gojo figure. Actually, the figure I really want is the one with him floating and looking all bloody. But I feel like that might be a bit much for like any family members that come visit. So I decided to settle on something a bit more tame and less violent. So I decided to maybe get the suit version of Gojo, where he's wearing the cute little shades. And I was debating whether to get the prize figure version of that or the Nendoroid version, but then I always wanted a Nendoroid, and I wanted to see how Nendoroids look in person. I've always wanted to see one in person and unbox it. So I was like, well, it's the same price, so it's not like it's going to be much of a difference if I buy the Nendoroid compared to the normal figure. And plus, considering how smaller Nendoroids are, it'll be easy to store compared to like a regular figure. So hopefully I don't get a Nendoroid addiction, because I know a lot of figure collectors, they start off with their first Nendoroid and then all of a sudden they want to get every single Nendoroid that comes out. I hope I don't become like that, because like I said before, Nendoroids in my opinion are pretty expensive. I think like the 30s when it comes to price range is quite cheap for Nendoroids. Usually Nendoroids that I've seen in person can range between $40 to $50, and sometimes it could go as high as $80. Like, I've been trying to find this Iron Mouse Nendoroid for so long because I'm a big fan of Iron Mouse. She's one of my favorite VTubers right now, and cheapest I've seen is $80, but it could go up to $100, and I think it's because they're no longer selling the Iron Mouse Nendoroid, so I think it's just terrible aftermarket pricing. But I refuse to pay $100 or even $80 for an Iron Mouse Nendoroid as much as I love her. So I'm just been kind of like disappointed about that, but I really do love this Gojo Nendoroid, so hopefully I'll like him more when I unbox him. So let's get right into it. I don't know if this is like a Gojo thing, but the opening section is at the bottom instead of the top, so that just threw me off for a second. But I finally got it open. Yay, Gojo. This is him. This is how he looks coming out of the box. It seems like he has a couple accessories, so let's explore each one, and then I can decide which one I want to display him with. Okay, so let's get him out of his prison. Ooh, this is kind of, the blister packaging is kind of tight, so give me a second while I deal with that. Okay, so this is Gojo. He's looking great as ever. I do have to say, the type of protection that they've been giving these Nendoroids is really nice. There's so much plastic to take off, but I like the fact that it's going to be hard to damage him through transit, so I appreciate that. Like this, like the details they have when it comes to like the Nendoroids is really nice. I do have to say he looks so cute. So let me get the rest of him. Let me put his hands back on. So this is how he's looking. Comes with a couple of arm pieces, so I'm going to show you guys in a minute. So this is one arm piece. My camera's having a hard time focusing it. It comes with a little hand piece. Oh, I do like this hand piece. This is very cute. It comes with this other arm piece, so that's really cool. It also comes with his little glasses, which is what sold me on this figure in the first place, because I always like Gojo with his like shades on compared to his normal mask. So when I saw that this version had the shades, I was very happy and I decided to just pick him up. And it also comes with his little sign, and this is for the illustration purposes, because remember this is based off of an illustration with him and Ghetto, and this is the little comedic sign that they have in the front. I almost forgot to show you guys what the base looks like. This is the base. I like that it's not the plain plastic base, but they also have like a little sticker, I think, of the stage that they stand on with the bricks. So I thought that was cute. Let me put him together and then I'll show you like all the different options you can pose in. So this is the pose that I think I'm going to display him with. I think it's really cute. I really do love this Nendoroid. I can see why people like them. They are a bit complicated to set up because I couldn't remember all the poses he comes with. So I kind of had to look back at some references to see which poses are available so that I don't accidentally break a joint or something. But he looks really good. I really think he'll look cute on my shelf. I think one of my main complaints about this Nendoroid is the fact that the sign doesn't have any peg to like stick it into the base. I feel like that sign is going to fall over time, which will be kind of annoying to keep putting back up. But I think for the most part, Gojo looks cool. I love the quality of Nendoroids. I can see why a lot of people like them. They're very high quality mini models, or like chibi figures essentially, And I think that Gojo does look really nice, and I really think that I did a good job picking the suit version of him because I really like it. Will I get Geto to accompany Gojo? Probably not. Geto is not my favorite character from Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't hate him, but I honestly don't like him enough to get a Nendoroid of him or any figure of him. So I think I might pass on the Geto, even though they do look very cute together, I admit. But I think this looks really good. For my first Nendoroid, I'm quite impressed, and I think that I'm not going to be buying any Nendoroids anytime soon, but I'm definitely not opposed to getting any in the future. So yeah. Okay, so that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick unboxing of Rem and Gojo. I felt like I talked enough about the two of them, so I'm just going to make this outro quick and transition you guys into the speed paint portion of this video. The speed paint is actually of Nobara instead of any of the characters in this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed the little speed paint of her.